Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dana. Thanks again for watching. If you are new here, hi, welcome. If you're not, hi, welcome. All right, let's get into it today. I was not planning on filming this video today because I didn't think I needed to, and I honestly didn't even know that I had both of these sunscreens, but I'm just gonna jump right in. If you're not subscribed, do so below. It helps my channel immensely. We're trying to get to 5K. Also give it a like. If you don't feel like subscribing, just like it and that helps as well. I wanted to get into this because I just didn't remember that I had these and I was like, wait, what's the difference? So I thought if I couldn't, well, I mean, I know the difference, but like, I think this is a useful video is what I'm trying to say. So we are talking about Roche Posay. These are the Anthelios light fluid sunscreens. Now, there feels like there are a lot of Anthelios light fluid sunscreens, but these two are mineral. So I was like, wait, why do I have this many? Because I just did a video on the Anthelios light fluid, but it's a chemical sunscreen. And then I was like, why do I have two more? It's because one of them is our mineral, and then the other is the tinted mineral. So one of them has no colors, no iron oxides, no pigment, and the other has iron oxides and pigment. So I thought it would be useful. I mean, I think it's pretty self-explanatory when you're looking at them that one is tinted and one is not, but I think it's a useful thing to actually see it applied to somebody's face, kind of get the specs on it and kind of see maybe which one would be better for you. So as I put my hair behind my ears, that means we're about to get into it. Let's get going. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and we'll get into the video. So as I always do, I have my 1/4 teaspoon. This is what you use for your neck and your face. When I apply it, I'm applying it half on one side and the other on the other side. So I do about a half, like a quarter, an eighth of a teaspoon. That way I have a full 1/4 on my face. I just do it so that you guys see that the amount that you really should be applying. I'm not wearing this all day. It's just kind of for testing purposes, but that's just a little synopsis of it. So the first one we're trying is the mineral one. I forgot to mention, these are the Shaka, like that's the packaging, that's kind of like the brand name. So you do need to shake it and you'll notice that there's a little ball in there that helps. All right, so we're gonna put about half of it in there and we'll do the left side of my face. So this is a SPF 50. It retails for $34.99, so about $35, and you get 1.7 fluid ounces or 50 milliliters. Their prices, I mean, they used to be a drugstore brand, but I would say they are solidly in the mid-price range because you're getting pretty much all your sunscreens at about $30 plus. So not necessarily cheap anymore. And that was before like inflation and everything. As far as active ingredients, this one has 6% titanium dioxide and 5% zinc oxide. I will let you know that there is also butyloctyl salicylate, which is in some people's mind a chemical filter. It's basically like a helper to UV active ingredients. If you consider it to be a chemical ingredient, then this would be a hybrid, and they don't like necessarily point that out. It's not necessarily a filter that's approved by the FDA, but it is in some people's mind a chemical filter, so that would make it a hybrid. And like I said, in some people's mind, if that doesn't bother you, if you're not allergic to it, if it really doesn't irritate your skin, you can kind of think of it as a mineral sunscreen, but I do like to point that out when it is in there. This one has the Celox Shield technology. Many of their other Anthelios have the same one. It also has silica, which helps absorb your natural oils. It is an oil-free sunscreen. It's also fragrance-free. So this is what it looks like. I've had it on for a few minutes now, and what I love about this is it has that natural kind of velvet matte finish, which is the same as my other Anthelios light fluid, but the SPF is 60 with the chemical filters. So they both have that kind of feel, which I love. It just doesn't feel like anything on your face. It's a perfect makeup primer, but it does have a cast. Like, this is a pretty noticeable difference from one side to the other. This has nothing, this has the sunscreen. So that is good if you have a lighter skin tone or if you know you're gonna put makeup on. This is one of those sunscreens though that I'm not comfortable wearing out of the house just like this unless I'm at my very, very palest. And even so, I think I would still look a little ghostly. So that's kind of just what it is. But that is a glimpse of it. And you can see that I still have even more up here on my hairline. All right, and on the other side, I'm gonna put the non-tinted. All right. right. Okay, so this one is also SPF 50, retails for the same $34.99. It comes in 1.7 fluid ounces or 50 milliliters. And in this one, we only have titanium dioxide, which is at 11%. It does have 1% iron oxides, which can help you with UV protection, but they're not considered an actual active ingredient in the sunscreen. And once again, this one also has beta-lactal salicylate. So if you're considering that as a chemical ingredient, this would again be a hybrid sunscreen. If it doesn't irritate you, if you don't mind it, just consider it a mineral sunscreen and go on with your day. But again, I like to tell you when it's in the sunscreen now. This one is also oil-free and fragrance-free, and again has silica. So that will help with the natural absorption of any oils that you produce. Okay, so we can see quite a difference, can we not? Okay, in a bit more natural lighting, you can definitely see that it's got quite a bit of color to it. I would say that this one is going to be a little dark for very light skin. This matches when I have like a little bit of a tan on, or I just am naturally tanner, but it doesn't necessarily, I don't think it would go great if you have fair or like very pale skin. If you have darker skin, I don't know what it'll look like, because I think it could be like a little orangey on you. It tends to pull a little orange on me as well. So the tone is interesting, and they only have one shade of it. I know that they used to have like different shades of this tinted one, but I don't know if that's still a thing. So this is actually just like half of what I was supposed to apply. So like quarter of the correct amount. I wanted to show you and stop at this point, because this is kind of the point that I would stop at naturally. This is a beautiful kind of almost like makeup looking sunscreen, and I actually wear it more as makeup, as a tinted, like a skin tint versus a sunscreen. What I'll do is I will put either the non-tinted one on first, let it sit, and then put the tinted one on, or put a different sunscreen on underneath and then cover it, and then use it as like makeup. But if I'm going to put the full amount, which I'm going to do right now, it feels a bit heavy to me. But if you're wanting more coverage, then you could definitely go with this. The thing that I do like about it, even if you are using a bit more coverage and a bit more of it, is it doesn't actually feel heavy on your face, and mainly because it kind of dries to that same velvet matte finish. But you know, you can get quite a bit of coverage, I would say. Like for me, when I wear this, I could just use this and then a little bit of concealer if I need to conceal anything, and that's pretty much it. But that is the full amount. Not too bad, but I would necessarily put the full amount on my face every time I use it. All right, I'm gonna take you into natural light so you can see it once again in natural lighting, and then I'll come back with my final thoughts. Okay, we're in natural lighting, and it looks very natural, but it looks a little bit better in natural lighting than in the studio lighting. You can still see quite a bit of a cast on this side, especially in the hairline and the eyebrows. And then this side, you can kind of tell, like I always tell on my microblading when there's a bit of coverage, because you can kind of see that in my eyebrow. But it looks a lot better here than in the studio lighting. So that's what it looks like. All right, we're back. This is such a crazy look in the studio lighting. Like, it's such a noticeable difference. But I did want to kind of go through my final thoughts about it. I actually really like these sunscreens. I feel like, especially with mineral sunscreens, you just tend to find ones that are pretty greasy and like dewy and oily a little bit, which is great if you have drier skin. Both of these I would say are more for like normal to oily skin type people, or if you want this like really nice silky velvety layer underneath makeup. That's who I would recommend it for. But if you're looking for a lot of moisture, these are probably not it. I do think the one thing about the tinted one is it definitely pulls a bit, like I said, like orange kind of. I think it's more noticeable because I have half of my face with the non-tinted side, but when I'm looking at it in these lights, it definitely kind of pulls that way. So if you have maybe more neutral or cool undertones, it might not be the best one for you, but kind of depends. I would say maybe if you can find a way to swatch it, that would be good, because I really do think of it like makeup, and I use it more like makeup than I do like a sunscreen. All right, so that pretty much wraps it up. I hope this was helpful. I know a lot of these sunscreens start to look exactly alike, because they do. So, you know, instead of you buying it and not liking it, maybe this video will help you out in that kind of realm. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.